Greetings, everybody. How are you today? Let me just tell you that I am in a much better mood than I was in yesterday. And you might be able to tell by the sound of my voice. I might have been a wee bit annoyed yesterday. I'm not really sure where that came from. In any case, I think it could have been from me maybe getting a little bit more sleep last night. I'm pretty well rested. Perhaps it's the fact that I didn't have to drive anywhere today, or prior to me making this video. But I was in a much better mood. Maybe it's because I ate. Maybe it's because I ate some good food. Maybe it's all three. Or four. I'm not really sure how many excuses I just gave. So in any case, I'm in a much better mood. Thank you. Thank you. I don't really know what that video was all about yesterday, but let's just think about it as the past, and we're moving forward. That's the way we're looking forward. So I ate at the back room last night, which was quite good. Quite good. I love eating at the back room. One of my top favorite places to go. You know, Greek style food, great salads, great chicken tenders, world famous. Well, maybe not world famous. They might not know about it in like Bangladesh or something, but they might. You never know. Great food at the Puritan back room. I'm gonna have to bring my coworkers up here, my people I like to hang out with. Let them try it. They're going to like it. Maybe when they come up and see a play of mine. Good thinking, Scott. So while I was out eating last night, I was out with a buddy. And, you know, we were having our typical discussion. We usually talk shop, you know, a lot of, you know, we were going on about, you know, lights and cameras, lenses, and some of the programs that we're actually working on. It was my business partner, buddy. And one of the topics we actually started talking about was something we were going to do a commercial on a little while ago. We never did, but it was we were talking a lot about renewable energy, which is something that it fascinates me. You know, it really does, and I think every aspect about it is fascinating. Not just electric cars, but you know, there's so much going on in this country. Between, you know, bioremediation to carbon sequestration. It's amazing. I mean, I'm really proud of all the technology that we have that's been in place. It's been worked on for the last 10 years. It's fascinating. I mean, if I was involved in any other thing, I think, besides filmmaking, that's probably what it would be. I find it that fascinating that I would want to dive in and learn more about it, because, man, the way that's what's really going to save. It's going to save our futures is technology, and it's exciting. I mean, it's a fun thing. But one of the things that we were talking about is it's a goal of mine. It's something that at some point in my life I'm going to reach this, because it is one of my main goals, long-term goals, is that I want to live completely off the grid. And when I say that, I don't mean I want to live in the woods, disconnected from everybody. I don't want to have to rely on any services from the city that I'm living in, you know, because I want to generate my own electricity, my own heat, my own, you name it, you know, everything required to run a household. Living in the Northeast here, and I'm sure everybody that's watching this probably is, we suffer through a lot of winters because of, although this winter was very mild, but the last few have been trying. You know, we've been without power. We've gone weeks without power, and that's not just once. I mean, if you look at the amount of generator sales that have, you know, cropped up in this area, it's phenomenal. I mean, people don't want to be without power, and buying a generator it's a nice solution and all, but not long term. There's a company in California. It's they make a product called a bloom box, and right now, I mean, a lot of companies in California are have it. eBay, Google, Walmart. You know, they have this large. It's like an $800,000 Bloom box that generates all their power, and I can't remember how many kilowatt, 500 kilowatts, something like that. But eventually, one day, they believe that within the next few years, I'm thinking 3 to 5 years, that they'll have something for the consumer, for the single home use, you know. And I think the requirements are everywhere from like 1 kilowatt to 5 kilowatt type of machine. And the way this thing works actually is it's like these little cells, fuel cells, that have a specific ink on them that I can't even remember the terminology, but they kind of, when they're together, they react and they generate electricity. And I don't even know how long, but you know, you think about if you had some of these cells just lying around, I mean, like, you would never have to worry, and it would obviously pay for itself in any amount of time. And the whole thing is, you'll never be without electricity as long as you have these cells around somewhere. You don't have to worry about whether the weather outside, if the snowfall, or if some drunken idiot's going to drive into a pole somewhere and knock the lines out, or some, you know, substation or transformer is going to blow at any moment. You know, generating your own electricity, it's you know, it's like eating vegetables out of your own garden, right? I mean, for some reason, they just taste better than the ones that you buy at the store. And maybe it's not just the chemicals. I mean, I think it's got something to do with it. You made it yourself. So anyway, that's one of the things. And you know, I looked a lot into geothermal pumps, you know, and being able to produce your own, you know, heat and air conditioning year round, just by drawing the temperature from the temperature of the earth. It's all things that I gotta have at some point in my life. So it's still there. It's a goal. But anyway, we had a long discussion about it, and it would be great. We were thinking that if we could just see the patent, you know, like at the U.S. Patent Department or whatever, maybe we could build one of our own Bloom boxes. But I'm guessing by the technology that they probably have some secrets that they didn't patent. So therefore, I don't think we could come up with the technology on our own. But it would be cool, though. It would be cool to build your own and draw your own electricity. Who knows? Someday, maybe it'll be widespread information. Maybe I'll be able to Google the information and find it and build it for myself in a few years. Who knows? I don't know. Just a thought. It'd be kind of cool. Anyway, I watched a movie this morning. It was Yes Man. You know, it's a Jim Carrey movie, and I know a lot of people don't like Jim Carrey, but to me, I probably have, for actors in Hollywood making films, I probably have more respect for Jim Carrey than I have for almost everybody else combined. I mean, like, there's a handful of actors that I think are just superior to, you know, to others. And I mean, Jim is close to, like, what I think is a great actor. I mean, the fact is that he's got all these other qualities. I mean, like, this guy he's somebody that would do anything to make you laugh, you know, and he just the abilities that he has the creativity, the improvisational skills. I think he's like a genius when it comes to comedy, and his acting is solid. I mean, he does some great roles. You can put almost anybody opposite him, and he's just fantastic. He just jumps off the screen. And he can portray a lot of different types. You know, Yes Man just happens to be, it's one of those movies that kind of resembles it's one of a couple of few movies that when I watch it, it kind of really hits the nail on the head, like, with regards to my own life. I remember the other one that really appeals to me that I happened to watch it right about the same time that I was going through something very similar in my life. It was a movie called Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. And what a fantastic job they did with the movie. You know, Kate Winslet is in it with him, and I like the girl. I'm not in love with the girl, but I like the girl a lot. I mean, I like to see her on the screen. I thought she did an exceptional job in that movie. And Jim was phenomenal. You'll never see him any different than he was with that character, and he just nailed it. He just nailed it. And I personally know what it was like to feel what his character was going through, and I was going through the same thing. And it's one of those movies that you really connect with because of the events of your own life. And Yes Man was the same way for me, because for a while, and a couple of different times during my life, but kind of recently, not real recently, but recently, recent history, I was saying no to life, you know. I was kind of like staying away from everybody, not wanting to go out and do things, and felt like I was stuck in a rut, and not experiencing life, not living life. And I tell you, just watching him in his metamorphosis of, you know, breaking out of the funk that he was in, there was a couple of moments in the movie that just freaking cracked me up. You know, there's only a few moments in film history like that have made me turn away from the screen. Just turn away in complete, like, I can't watch that, you know. And one of them, this was such a simple scene, and you know, his neighbor, this elderly woman, is looking to please him sexually. And when you think about it, it doesn't sound good even to start with, right? But anyway, she invites him over, and he has to say yes to everything, right? So, of course, he is in the bed with her, and all of a sudden you just know. You don't have to see it. You just know what's happening, you know, because it's going on in your imagination. So, I mean, I'm kind of like, you know, not turning away yet, but for some reason, all she does is take her dentures out and put them in the glass, you know, which just made me, like, that was the start of it. And then the shot, just a shot, all of a sudden it kind of focuses from, you know, him in the bed getting pleasured to a close-up of the glass with the dentures in it. I couldn't take it. I had to turn away because I knew what was going on with the gums and everything. Couldn't do it. Couldn't look at it. Amazing. It was amazing, like, because that's very good cinematography to make you do something like that. The only other time I remember not being able to watch something was I was watching, I think it was Borat, and like the sumo wrestling scene that he has with a really large fellow, you know, where he's like, they kind of get into a 69 position and they're wearing those like freaking what looked like thongs for males, and he had a hairy ass. Oh God, just thinking about it makes me want to throw up. But I did turn away at that. That's the only other time I really remember doing it. I mean, there's probably been other things, but those two things stand out the most now. But yeah, Jim Carrey is just fantastic, and I can't help but like the guy. I can't help it. He's done some great things. He's got some great cinema moments, and I have a lot of respect for him. A lot of respect. Yes Man, very good movie. Connected with it. It's fun to watch. It's not perfect, you know. They do a lot of things like there's certain things where, you know, there's when you hear the audio of a movie, you know, and you know what things actually the characters in the movie can hear, and opposed to things that they can't hear, which only you can hear. Music, you know, opening credits. It's fun because, like, even in the opening segment, they blend the two. You know, it comes from something that only you're hearing, and then all of a sudden it's like, bam, it's in the movie now. You know, the same sound that you were listening to, and the character can hear it. And they did it so well. I mean, it's one of the very few times I've ever seen that done with film, and it was brilliant. It really was. I mean, it was a simple phone ringtone, but it was effective. It was effective because it was interesting. It was different, and I haven't seen it done a lot. But anyway, I happened to catch, like, on television, like one of Quintin Tarantino's flicks. I think Death Machine or Death something. I don't know. I tell you, like, the guy kind of burst onto the scene in the early 90s, and, you know, I mean, like, some of the things he did was kind of clever. I mean, Reservoir Dogs was a very good movie, and I will give him all the due credit in the world for that, but he just sucks. Everything he's done since pretty much sucks. He should never be on camera himself. He looks like a freaking psychopath, and I'm not impressed with anything that he's done for the last decade and a half. So anyway, yeah, he's somebody that I don't have a lot of respect for. I mean, you know, as a filmmaker. But anyway, I think this one's probably long enough. I've been going on for a little while now, so I guess I'm going to hit the bed. I got to get some sleep before I go to rehearsal in North Conway tonight and meet a new cast. So that's what I'm going to do. I will leave you all to whatever it is you're doing, and do it well, because there might not be a tomorrow, you know? Say yes to life. Good advice. See you, everybody.